Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to take a look at the news after the first of 2 days concluded of Ripple's big event in San Francisco called Swell. But first, I want to tell you that I sent out emails today to a few people who were part of your list, actually, of participants for that panel discussion that we are trying to put together. So Jungle Inc. just responded about 15 minutes ago. He's in. And when I hear back from the others, we'll then announce the day and time that will be released. And then if I can ask just one more thing, you did such a great job. You offered up 500 different comments last time when I asked you who you wanted to see on that panel. Now, I just want to know, nothing mandatory, but if you have something that you would really like to be discussed, please put that in the comment section. I think we're going to try to cover 3 topics, and we're going to do it within 30 minutes. So think about those kinds of timelines, and if there's something in particular you'd like to hear discussed, just leave it there in the comments and I'll be sure to take a look. I no doubt you'll have some great ideas. Okay, this is Coin Tokyo. It's my favorite website in Japan to stay on top of the breaking news. Here we have a story, of course, about Ripple. Ripple is all over the news today because of the big announcement they made. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And also, look at this story. This is actually Thomas Lee. He is running a poll on Twitter. That poll is just 6 questions, but the 5th question is something I want to look at in this video. First, let's take a look at the recap of the first day of Swell. So here we are on the Ripple website, and they uploaded 4 different videos today. The first one here you can see is a show and tell panel. It has a representative from the Banco Central of Brazil. It also has somebody from Payments Canada, and also a representative from the Saudi Arabia Monetary Authority was there, along with Dilip Rao of Ripple. And then this video here is about the regulatory landscape. And this one here is very interesting. It is Ed Metzger. He is with the international bank Banco Santander. I want to talk about his video. And then, of course, there is one more, the 4th one. This is the opening statements from Brad Garlinghouse. Okay, first, this one is really quite interesting because these statements come from somebody who is a customer of Ripple. It's not Ripple like a peacock promoting themselves, or it's not like an XRP holder that is trying to persuade people that XRP is the greatest cryptocurrency out there. No, this is a video that is just 13 minutes long, but it is so full of testimonial and validation of what this company Ripple is doing. So if you don't know, Santander is the largest bank in the Eurozone. They are in 10 different markets. And he talks about his journey. And that journey was to launch the OnePay FX. It's a mobile payment option, promotion, application that uses the RippleNet. And they found that before they actually piloted this, the level of dissatisfaction among their customers for cross-border payments was quite high. People just weren't having a good experience. And so in today's world, there is more of a expectation of not only high level of service, but in regards to speed. And they just weren't able to do that. So in the research, they looked at the different pain points and they set out to test with Ripple if they could prove that the pilot that they launched in the UK, Spain, Brazil, and Poland actually could increase and improve the customer experience. And that for sure is what they found. It was very, very positive. So in basically 4 to 5 clicks, these instant payments provide just fantastic customer feedback. The customers love the transparency of fees, and they also, of course, love the reduced cost. It's a great value to them, and the transaction for settlement time is just, second to none, actually. So he brings up a really cute story. I don't know if cute's the right word, but it's a real story that happened. He had a customer that was in Italy, and he was receiving a parking fine, and he was at risk of having his car towed. Well, he was able to actually do an instant payment, and he prevented his car from being towed away. So that was kind of a great story. I think that with Ripple, they have 300 million bank accounts that they can offer this instant clearing service. That's a big statement. And what he said, this is why I am highlighting his particular speech, because he said that they are going to roll out more customers, more channels, and more geographies. So they see this as a competitive differentiator for Santander. That's a pretty strong statement coming from a customer. So I want to say congratulations to the Ripple team. And on the Ripple website here, October 1st, 2018, they uploaded kind of a recap. And I'll just tell you there are 3 main points in this recap. They are signing, they, meaning Ripple, are signing an average of, per week, 2 production customers. And these are not just customers that are going to do trials or in a testing phase. No, these are contracts. So 2 production customers per week. Ripple is now in 40 countries and 6 continents. And number 3, the digital asset of XRP is providing the on-demand liquidity for the cross-border payments. And it's not just going to happen in the future. It's not just a pilot phase. It was announced that it is happening now. It's a big deal. And at the end of the day, they said it's a wrap on day 1 of the Swell by Ripple. And special thanks to Counting Crows for making the customer celebration incredible. This 25-second video shows everyone enjoying the live venue, and it looks like everybody's having a very good time. I think, yeah. You don't have to be a fan of Counting Crows to just see that it was a good time had by all. Okay, let's take a look at this poll by Thomas Lee. So as I said, he has 6 questions out there. There are 16 hours left. If you want to go and participate in his poll, you can go to @Funstrat on Twitter and find it there. So the fifth question is very interesting. He asks in this crypto poll, which token of those listed below, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, and XRP, which token do you see as the best performing in the next 12 months? Look at the results. 31% of people say Bitcoin will be the best performing. Only, what is this? Is that a 16 or a 15? That's a 15% of people think Ethereum will be best performing. Just 9% believe that EOS will be best performing, and an astounding 45% say XRP. So I think this gives everybody a very good indication of market sentiment. And you may not know this gentleman, but Japan has its own Thomas Lee, if you will. His name is Masayuki Tashiro. He is the president and CEO of Fisco Digital Asset Group, and he has worked as an analyst providing assessments on futures, options, cash equity, and overall market and index movements since 2010. And his focus is currently on cryptocurrency. He holds a Master of Financial Technical Analysis and is a regular commentator on the Nikkei CNBC television channel and a frequent contributor to economic magazines such as Forbes Japan. The reason why I bring this up is because he writes in English and he is very bullish on the market. I really see some similarities between Thomas Lee and Mr. Tashiro. So if you go to bravenewcoin.com and go to their insights section, you can find the contributors and just make a note, Masayuki Tashiro, and you will find he writes very nice articles with a perspective from Japan. This is the story I talked about just a couple of days ago. It's the new 7 nanometer kamikaze mining chip that is coming out. It's going to go head to head against the Bitmain ASIC miner. It's 50% more efficient, so that's great in terms of electricity, and it's also much more powerful. So this is kind of newest generation miner that is coming out of Japan. But this is the story I want to look at. The major Japanese corporation driving cryptocurrency usage. So I was asked by a lot of people in the last couple of days, why is SBI launching its own S-Coin? Well, here we have also Japan's Kinetsu Group. They operate a railway connecting major cities just south of Tokyo in the Kinki and Tokai region. They are also going to launch their own new cryptocurrency. And the reason is these are coins for closed environments. They're not intended for speculation or investment. They are tied to the yen, and they are able to transact in a cashless means by using a mobile phone and a QR code. So even though it's calling it a cryptocurrency coin, it's basically a way to make payments on a blockchain with your phone. So as I keep telling you, the Japanese government has very high targets to get this country to a cashless society soon. And Kitao-san from SBI has the vision of creating the platform so that people don't have to make these coins from scratch, but have a platform at which they can use. And he also, I believe, has the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in mind for the use of that S-Coin. But here we have another coin that's going to be launched. So you can see here that this is a social experiment, and it's going to be conducted between October 1st and December 10th. And this experiment is going to be inside the big Kinetsu department store in Osaka, along with additional 400 other locations, including Haruka's 300 Observatory. It's the tallest building in Japan, and it has restaurant and shopping and hotel and observatory and museum. So these types of projects will allow people to go to a defined shopping area or locations that participate and can go completely cashless. They believe they are able to reach 1.6 million people with this experiment. And then also they can tie in reward points. So this is kind of a next generation of how the coin or token and blockchain is going to be used. And I do believe that as these come out often in Japan, the Japanese society is really going to embrace digital currencies even faster, because they are getting very accustomed to using this kind of payment. So let me see if there was something else I wanted to add to this story. Yeah, so okay, this cashless society, the Kinetsu group will join several virtual community currency projects that are now up and running in Japan. Yeah, I just think it's interesting. And this is maybe why Japan is adopting cryptocurrency so broadly, because they actually have the government behind many of these projects to encourage these smartphone applications in combination with blockchain. So anyway, okay. So don't forget to maybe take a look at more of his stories, Masayuki stories in the future. Okay, I am going to get into the fluff. So if you're new to this channel, usually at the end of the video, I talk about something from Japan in terms of, gosh, it's wide ranging. It can be cultural, or it can be anything. Yeah, so I'm going to tie it into this tallest building in Japan. This is the Abeno Harukas building. It's 300 meters high. It's a skyscraper that's next to the Osaka station. So if you don't know 300 meters for Americans, it's 62 stories. And like I said, it has extensive shopping, dining facilities, a hotel, a museum, and actually an observatory at the top, which has just amazing views. But now let's just kind of go to what's in the museum right now. You might recognize this. This is a sculpture that is kind of world famous, and it's by the abstract and avant-garde artist Akamoto Taro. He has since passed away. He was born in 1911, passed away in 1996, but he is quite famous in the world. He studied in France, and he actually used to hang out with Picasso. And one of his pieces is in Tokyo. So let me move myself off of him. Here he is here. And if you go to Shibuya, which is just in the heart of Tokyo, I'm there a couple of times a week, you can see this 30-meter long painting by him. And it has a very interesting story. So you can kind of get a feel for the scale. It's just massive. When you stand under it, you can't get it all in. It's something you have to look at from afar, because it's just really overwhelming. If you go up this escalator here, this takes you to the second floor near the Inokashira line. Behind you is the Yamanote line, which is the inside inner circle. And there is a Starbucks right around the corner that I often hang out at. And you can probably see me because I watch the world go by. Shibuya Station has 2.3 million people pass through it every day. It is very lively. So this painting, which is titled Myth of Tomorrow, was actually lost for many, many years. It was commissioned by a very high-end hotel in Mexico City back in 1968. And the city, or the hotel, ran into financial trouble. And with that trouble, it was put into storage in a warehouse, but nobody knew where it was until 2003 when it was discovered. So it was brought back to Tokyo, restored and assembled and put in this public space where you can see it daily for free. And it's just one of those pieces of art that every time I see it, it feels so special. So when you come to Shibuya, don't miss this Akamoto Taro work of art inside Shibuya Station. Okay, everybody, that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow is day 2 of Swell. We might get some additional announcements. Wouldn't that be nice? But even if it doesn't happen, I'm totally satisfied with what we know thus far, and that is XRapid, and the use of the XRP token is live. Okay, everybody take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.